Just yesterday, our hearts were borrowed to Frontline, from the proximity of the safest places to hide, to seek peace on how to survive. Amid our fears, behind our smile, they said this treaty would make things right. So we held our belief, hoping the sun would shine. And that's just a taste of Moses Daniel's poetry titled Peace War. What a way to start the month of August, enjoying the beauty of words. And I'm so looking forward to a lot of interesting things happening in this month and also in the art world. And once we get it, you'll definitely be seeing it on the show. I'm Melinda Akinlami. A warm welcome. Let's quickly take our arty quote and we'll be right back.
Literature is in many ways like faith. It's a leap of imagination. A serene atmosphere. Friendly faces. A colorful array of food. And an intriguing collection of art. That's what sums up Duke Asidere's solo exhibition at the Wheat Baker, Lagos.
We're all walking around in our mental space. We're all having ideas. You know, we're looking out and we're trying to analyze, digest, and have some sort of a filtration system. So that is what you see up on the walls today. So for example, we have one work that's called One Man, One Generator. Don't we all struggle with electricity every day?
What I've done with my emotions, or what I've done with my work, is that everything I've had to think in my brain, and that's gone up my mind, I try to bring it back to visual reality. The difference between the other person who probably imagines things and myself is that when I imagine a thing, I can put it in visuals.
The curator Sandra Mbanefo Obiago is honored that distinguished personalities from the art world have taken time out to spice up the occasion with their presence.
We're delighted that art is also a way to celebrate the best of life.
While dropping a hint about the direction of these works of art.
It's important that art mirrors life. You know, it's one thing for art to beautify, but art also needs to have an opinion. And I think we as Nigerians are going through tough times. Many of us really love our country and we care about what's happening both in the area of politics, economics. So art is mirroring.
She talks about the need for artists to stop sitting on the fence, challenging them to take up issues that affect the society and be the change they want to see.
I choose artists who have an opinion, who can actually say to Nigeria, this is my take on what's going on the evening news. So you have Duke's headline series, where he takes headlines from everyday newspapers and creates them into works of art.
We must become a serious people again, and less emotional. Let's be a lot more factual. Less bothered about ethnicity. I think it's all crap. We all have issues. Let's face the issues. We want a better country. And that's why I work every day, because I want a better country for my children. So I don't want anybody to mess my country up. And I think every Nigerian must know that he has a part to play. This no more just sitting and thinking that it's going to happen, it's going to happen. No, we must be the agents of change we desire. We must be part of the progress of our society.
For the artist, there is always a pool of ideas in his head, crying to find expression, and he just can't wait to get cracking. So mental space was like a release.
In mental space, I've said to myself, it's not just about artistic practice. It's not just about having skills. No, the artist has emotions. The artist has feelings. The artist lives in a location. He lives in a country, and I think in our country, specifically at the moment, there's been so much impunity. There's been so much. I think there's been a scam. I think we've just been scammed up as a people. I think government has not been fair to anybody because government doesn't have the will to deal with the issues that they should deal with.
He tilts to a more political dimension in most of his works, a departure from his previous show where he celebrated the women in his life, but now he feels a strong desire to question why things are wrong in the country and why people have to suffer in the midst of plenty.
He takes headlines from everyday newspapers and creates them into works of art. So you have the beauty of his female forms, you have the beauty of his color and his texture, but underneath there is a very strong message about where are we heading as a nation. You know, we are looking for all the money that's been bled out of our economy, out of our national coffers. I think it's important when you look back in 20 years' time at this collection, it'll be like going to the history book. It'll actually take you through some of the issues that we face today in 2015 and 2016 as Nigerians.
Topical issues in the news are not only his inspiration, but he uses a newspaper as one of the materials for creating a particular series and some other works.
I have the collages that I've, and when I say the collages, the newspaper cuttings, what it has done is that when you buy a newspaper and then you read a few things, what you read becomes a part of you, which means, simply put, you wear what you read. So if you hear that there are some areas are blind spots in Lagos, you're going to avoid those areas. And so generally, I think that the artist must work in 3 dimensions, in the fact that you're here in the present and the future and when you're probably gone from life. So the artist's work is in 3 phases. It's not just to decorate.
For example, this work titled One Man, One Generator, which he has done using an imposter technique, talks about a society where everyone has a generator in their homes. Is it a luxury or a necessity with the price of fuel?
It says something not just about our physical space, but also our emotional space. Because every time the light goes, you feel frustration. You feel a sense of great frustration, which we shouldn't be dealing with at this point in our existence as a nation.
He uses different styles in this show. Sometimes you can find drawings, probably to remind people about the foundation of art and the need to go back to the basics to get things right. There lies a hidden message for the leadership. The painting, done with his signature style of layers and layers of paint, giving the works texture so there is a feel to it. The colors are also vibrant, considering the deep dark issues which show that underneath all there is a beautiful and blessed country that needs to be revealed and take its pride of place in the global arena. Art has gone beyond art for art's sake. Duke Asidere is talking to the man in the mirror, asking society to come together and make Nigeria a better place for generations to come.
Talk about creativity. Let's take a moment now. When we return, more artifacts for you to feast your eyes on. In the meantime, who do you think is our artist for this week?
He is a Nigerian author of plays and novels that are generally about African village life, customs, beliefs, and religious practices. His first publication was in 1957, a poem titled Penitence in a University of Ibadan campus magazine called The Horn and edited by fellow writer J.P. Clark.